Hey, the bass player is useful.
What's up, Spotlight? Seth here. We are back with the Tale Untold for attempt number 2 at an interview. I had a wild amount of technical issues with the first one, so we're changing it up, and we also changed our setup. So far, we've had a lot of bands that have been coming in, and we haven't been able to get all of the members, so we're trying this out. If it works, great. If not, let me know. I'd appreciate to be informed if this looks funky for you. I'll find out later.
So far, looks good to me.
But I'm really glad you guys were able to come back in. Thank you very much. We've got Brandon, we've got Elise, we've got Jack, we've got John, and we've got Ashley. All from the Tale Untold. For those who don't know, Tale Untold is actually the first band that Gerald put photos up on for Spotlight Omaha.
Yeah.
And then one of the first bands, that was actually the first show that I photographed for Spotlight Omaha.
Really?
And so there's weird coincidences, but for some reason you guys weren't the first interview that we had in here, which in hindsight might have been a mistake, but
That's okay.
but welcome back. Thanks for coming back in. Now you guys are busy.
We're very busy, and we're happy to be busy because we've been in the studio, we've been recording some new stuff, we've been kind of evolving our sound a little bit, so we're stoked right now.
Now you've got a couple singles out right
Yes.
now, and did you just recently put out a video as well? Did I see that? Was
Not
that teased?
recently.
No,
we did.
there was a teaser for coffee, but no,
Okay.
no new videos.
No
We're
new
working
videos
on
yet.
it.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Now you guys are recording over at.
All Poetic Audio with Jeremy Schaefer.
Who's a wizard?
He's awesome. He just gets it.
Yeah,
He's
He has
so
a cute
good.
cat.
and he has
He
a cute little
does.
kitty that you can.
Every
hang out
studio
with.
needs a cat.
It's true. Yes.
Yup.
They're nice and quiet.
And now that is going to be the actual debut album for you guys that
It
you're
will
recording
be.
down there.
Yes.
How's that been going so far? Like yes, he's a wizard, but how's it been going for you guys?
It's a process. It's one of those things where it's like, this happened to us the last 2 times we've gone to the studio where we've had a new song that we were so stoked on, but couldn't record it because it wasn't quite there yet, which I think is really good.
We'll
because
get there.
We'll get there. But I mean, it's just one of those things where, I think this last time for me personally was the most exciting because we finally kind of all figured out what we're doing, how we're doing it, what goes where, and how we all work together. So, yeah.
And I think on this first CD, whenever we get that out, you're gonna hear I don't know how we've evolved because there's a lot of different sounds on it. So we're working on not finding a sound to stick with, but there's a lot of stuff going on, which isn't bad. So, yeah, it's been going good. It's exhausting, but fun.
I mean, I would expect any studio experience to just be absolutely grueling once you've gotten it. Because, in today's scheduling, you're trying to cram in so much
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
little bit of time slots that you can actually get in there.
Well, and we actually had a set time to go down there, and then I ended up getting sick, really sick.
Right.
And
And
the
so-
weather was also bad.
The weather was also
Yeah.
bad. Well, and then the last time we were up there, my hometown was flooding, so I was kind of distracted by making sure my building that I do my job in survives. So
Hashtag Nebraska strong.
hashtag
Yeah.
Nebraska strong, for real.
That flooding was somebody banged the table.
That was me. I'm so sorry. Oh, God.
No, that flooding was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, no
It was
joke.
bad.
And yeah, not it surprised me how many people even in the surrounding area really didn't even know about it.
It was weird because my building, we pumped out close to 70,000 gallons of water, and it's a building that my parents own. And I'm dealing with that, but then I come back to Omaha and nobody really got it until a week later. They're like, "Oh, this is pretty bad."
Yeah, it was very
But-
unexpected. No one expected it to get that bad.
It finally started getting that national coverage and
Mhm.
the little bit that it did get.
And then they shut down past 204th on Dodge, and then they shut down 2 miles on Maple because it was underwater and completely puzzle pieces of
Yeah,
road taken
it
off.
was just gone.
It literally looked like something out of an apocalyptic movie.
Now, so the last time we had you guys in here, it was very clear that you are yet another band that is very heavy on the meme lord culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who,
Oh,
John
God.
and Jack
John and Jack.
and Brandon.
I am not nearly
He's
as bad as
usually
they
the
are.
victim of the memes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. John is the victim of memes. Basically, the process of it is I get John in the most flattering of positions on Snapchat or some kind of picture. I make a dumb quote about it, and then Jack just goes to town.
So you remember last time how I, like, after we finished with our interview, I had said something about being photogenic. That wasn't like trying to boast myself. That was a negative thing because like he takes photos of me all the time and he's like, "Oh, look, pretty flamingo." Because I'll be like,
Literally, my most liked thing on Facebook ever is John saying, "Hey, look, my guitarist is a flamingo."
Well, so who keeps up on it who keeps up on it the most for stuff that is not related to the band?
Jack.
Like who's going to be the one who's going to be annoying the band chat with it?
Okay, I don't annoy
With
the
me,
band.
you annoy
I don't
it.
annoy
I
it unless
mean,
the
that's
situation calls
definitely
for
gonna
it.
be.
No, I think it's me.
Mine is relevant. I at least post
That's
music
true.
things.
I think it's me, and it's not even necessarily meme related, but I make it meme related. They'll be talking about something serious, and I'm like, guys, my cat did something cute. Look.
Yeah.
And it's the
Oh,
picture of
he
my
does
cat
that.
laying
He
there.
And then we
really
go
does
into a GIF
that.
war.
And then it just goes back and forth. Usually, I will like instigate it, and then I just kind of back off and just watch the world burn.
I just realized that you guys misinterpret me talking about new songs that I wrote as me like crap posting.
But I mean,
in
you
the
are
band chat.
theoretically a living meme,
Oh.
so.
What?
All right, we need to cut because we need to talk
Invisible
about
mic
stuff.
drop. No.
This got sad.
This got really serious, John.
It's
You're
okay.
talking about Karuto stuff?
No, not Karuto stuff. It's just like my other tracks that I like send over.
With the
'cause-
weird people dancing and the
No,
creepy
no, that's
voices?
definitely Karuto. No,
She
no,
doesn't
I
hold
send
back
over
on her
like.
words.
No, she doesn't. That's
Like,
okay. We need
I'm
that.
honest.
Just needed.
I'm
But yeah.
honest.
So being a band that's been around the metal scene for quite a long time around Omaha, like you guys have been hitting it really hard from the get-go. I think the first post that you can actually find on your Facebook right now is a video of you guys listening to a studio recording, which is also, I believe, introducing you as the vocalist.
Really?
Huh?
We've,
Go on.
Because
Show
I was
me
scrolling,
this
I was
clip.
scrolling back today. If I can download, I'll insert it right here. But yeah, that's the first clip. There is you guys already trying to get something recorded, and then
Oh.
introducing Elise as you guys' vocalist.
Was that in
that ring any bells?
his room or basement? When
No,
we
that
were-
was
I
when
don't
we
think
were
so.
recorded with Ian, I think.
Okay, I was not there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah, I
This
wasn't
is
there either.
interesting. You know, this isn't the first time that someone's like, "Hey, there's this thing of you," and I'm like, "What are you talking
It's like,
about?"
you remember this ancient
Show
piece
me
of
this.
history from several months / years
Oh
ago.
my gosh, yeah. 'cause
It's
we've
definitely
been-
years. It was
Yeah.
definitely years ago. So.
'cause
Found
we've-
a stone tablet with your guys' band name on it.
Hey, that'd be dope.
That would be like,
That'd be so
oh,
cool.
Given your name, that might not be the craziest thing somebody's translated on a piece of rock or something.
True.
Untold. Haven't seen a metal band here in 30 years. But yeah, no.
7 years ago.
But yeah, I mean, we just
Fourscore and the Tale Untold ago.
That was a good one. Yeah.
write that
But yeah,
down.
we've been playing
Write that
shows. It's almost 2 years on the dot now, and
Since we've been public, yeah.
Yeah, and then we've been playing together for about a year, and it started with John and Jack looking for a female vocalist for their project that they were in at the time, and then
Less than water.
Less than water.
And then John like shot me a message. He's like, "Hey, just kidding. We're just gonna do a new band." And I was like, "Okay, well, that's cool." And
Yeah,
then
that's
they
pretty
found
much how it started.
Ashley. And stop me if this is boring. Is this boring?
No,
Okay.
keep going.
So then we found Ashley, or they found Ashley, and I was like, "Oh, this will be kind of cool having another metal chick in the band." And then the last piece was this handsome fella in the suit right over here, and
I
it
was
was
brought in against my will.
yeah, you were. Because like
damn
we
right
kind
you
of
were.
knew of each other through the powerlifting scene,
Sure.
and then he came to
Musician roulette.
One scene. One
Yeah.
yeah, One Scene,
Yeah.
One
That
Love,
was so fun.
and then we were gonna jam a mirror. Like, oh my gosh, this is our first
I know.
time
first
going
time
public.
playing in front of anyone.
And then Brandon's like, oh, I mean, I can get up there and play some zeros and ones.
Literally, and I didn't know who any of them were.
I've
Anybody
never
at the
seen
building
before.
except for Elise, and nobody really knew me. Because I've done some projects here and there, but nothing really extraordinary for that matter. And I get up there, I jam with them, and then Jack got on drums, and John just starts noodling, And so I just kind of started copying him on a 4-string bass, and John stopped and just kind of stared at me, would play something, and I would copy him note for note, and it kind of just went from there.
Just worked.
Yeah.
Just straight up worked.
John fell in love with my fingers.
That's what she said.
What did you say?
Write
John
that
fell
down.
in love with my fingers.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm not denying anything.
I can show you the Facebook messages.
They exist.
Please don't.
I am John's dream girl.
Next.
And John's a very pretty girl.
John's
I
Apparently.
received that photo. I've still got it, so I'll make sure
Oh,
that's
God.
right here as well.
John as a pretty girl.
I don't even know what I
Back
was
to the
doing,
memes,
how I
yeah.
did that. I
It was
don't
like-
even know what
I remember that
happened with
photo. It's like a blurry geisha.
Oh, God. It's so bad. It's so bad.
That is the best way to phrase that. A blurry geisha.
Yeah, with facial
We
hair.
put that on our shirt.
With
I
a little
died.
bit of facial
Blurry
hair.
geisha.
Blurry
Man,
geisha.
I've been
Sounds like a
pumping out
song
merch
name or
ideas,
something.
Vans lately.
Dude,
It's
I'll
great.
would give you royalties for this.
Write that down.
I knew
guitarist
I
is a
knew
blurry
it. It was
geisha. How's
only
yours?
a matter of time before I'd end up on a shirt. It's okay. I've prepared
We
myself
still
for
need
this.
to make a Damn It Frost shirt, though.
Oh yeah, I have my own hashtag.
Now we're doing a merch
Mind
meeting,
you,
so if you
these
guys
are
can
not
hold on for a
things.
second.
These are not things that I've ever like patented or put out myself. Like, yeah, I
That,
want to
though,
start marketing this.
Reached meme status accidentally because it was literally me just reacting to stuff that you say
So consistently that people caught on.
that it became a meme.
Yeah. Now it's a hashtag. I even throw it around every now and again. It's terrible.
Now back to your album. This being the debut Tale Untold album. You guys have been together for quite a while, though. So obviously, a lot of the evolution of the band, a lot of the changes that you would normally go through during that period have already occurred. And as you said, they've been changed. Like, you haven't found the exact formula for a lot of them yet.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say the biggest change really was?
we
coming
dropped
into
to
it?
G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest
We
thing.
were in drop C, and then we switched it up because we had that top string that we didn't really use very much on our 7 strings. So
I
Yeah.
didn't change a thing.
When in doubt, change your tuning.
pretty much.
I just feel like even if you hear
Oh,
from
God, I kicked
our
you.
first recorded song until our last recorded song, and I think we might be talking about doing a couple more even now that we've pushed up back our CD release date. I feel like you will hear exactly like where everything goes and how it kind of melds together because
Is
I
it a
mean-
concept album?
I mean it might as well be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
deal.
a lot of things that I feel people might not take into consideration is like when you start a new band, you have a lot of people use the phrase you got to find your sound, find your sound, find your sound. And like what that actually means is a lot of people's EPs are usually like all over the place. And the significance of that is because there's so many ideas that are coming to this melting pot that you have to grab more or less one of them that you really, really like and then try and run with that in that direction. And that's what we did. The difference is we're not hiding all of the other different directions that we entertained. We're actually putting them out on this album. So you'll see, like there'll be like jazz influences. You'll see hard rock influences, alternative influences, and then there's gent influences on this album. So it's very diverse in that sense.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you guys mentioned that you've pushed it back. I think during our original interview, you were thinking like mid-June. When are you thinking now?
I think we're looking at the fall time
Probably in the fall.
Yeah.
because a lot of our fellow, especially in the metal scene and people that we're really tight with, we're all we plan on all releasing within that kind of May, June, July date.
Yeah, everything happens during the summer.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, fall's my favorite season.
yeah.
So,
And
but
this gives us an opportunity to go back up to Jeremy and maybe record a few more. And I don't know, we've been going up in little snippets. Like some bands like to go record for just a week. We've been going and doing like 2 songs at a time, which has been kind of nice because I think a week would be super overwhelming for us and Jeremy. So yeah, I kind of like just going a weekend at a time.
And
So are you taking like all the time up to the album finished off, or do you guys have anything big coming in? Like
We have a
I
lot.
know you guys have
yeah,
I know you
we
guys have
have
some
a
shows
lot.
scheduled that are coming up
Yeah,
pretty quick.
So what we're starting to focus on now, and this is just kind of where my brain's at, is with social media, with streaming nowadays, it's almost like the CD release. Like when I first got in the music scene, that was like the day, and that was
Yeah.
the thing to do. And now it's like it's not as important. I don't feel. Not to say it's not important at all,
Yeah.
but this gives us an opportunity to kind of go explore, being able to tour first or go outside of Omaha a little bit more, get our name out there a little bit more. And then we can say, hey, you know what? Go stream this song. Go do this, YouTube, all that
It helps.
internet's thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of been almost a blessing in disguise. And I feel like we're going to, when the album does come out, we are going to actually be full on thrilled with it instead of like, all right, this is what we did.
I'm already stoked for it. There's so many songs that we have that I feel like blow the current ones that people have heard out of the water.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't even released, like, we've released songs that I'm stoked about, but not the ones where I'm like,
Yeah, we have not released our favorites.
Yeah.
So like
The
anything
more
that
we evolve, it's like, oh, this is our best song ever.
yeah,
And then the next song, this is the best song ever.
just like Jeremy
Yeah.
says every band that
Yeah.
comes in here.
exactly.
Best
I mean, that's what you
songs.
want, right? Like you want
Yeah.
you always want the next song to be like the next best piece of material you end up putting out.
Mhm.
If you guys
Absolutely.
if you guys have that feeling, I mean, hold on to it for sure.
Absolutely. We got good chemistry.
There you go. All right, so kind of getting ready to wrap things up because we have a showdown to do. I'm ready for it. Now, what do you guys have coming up? Like, what do you have that's like kind of right around the corner? Bear in mind, like,
The Anchor.
Oh, yeah.
Showcase.
Yeah, what
We're
stories
talking
or
about
storms?
shows coming up, basically.
give me that again.
Shows that are coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Jump in there.
April 18th at Karma Lounge, we'll be playing with Stories Through Storm, The Anchor, From This Day Forward, and 64 Hit Combo.
Yes.
And then we'll also be playing the Mellow Barbecue June 21st. So
Good stuff.
another blessing in disguise. When we had to push back our CD release date, we got to hop on this amazing show. We're playing shows in Lincoln, Des Moines. We're working on some Minnesota shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
June's
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
actually just got
busy.
that
The
one.
summer's gonna be busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Sovereignty CD release in May.
In May.
That's true.
Yep.
We got to
I'm
record
so
one of
ready
these
for
music
that.
videos one of the days.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm hoping that we have this up before your guys' show on the 18th, so like there's at least a little bit of headway there. But we'll definitely have this up for you guys' show in May. So Sovereignty, I believe that's at Lookout, isn't it?
Yes.
Love those guys.
And then Heavy Metal Barbecue also at Lookout.
Yes.
No,
No.
that's at
No,
the
waiting room.
Oh, waiting room
Yes.
this time. Okay.
Waiting room.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
Punk Rock Barbecue. That was at Lookout last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That was
have
it.
had barbecues. No, yeah,
Yeah.
Sovereignty's at the Lookout, and then we have a show August 3rd. Where's that one?
Is that Dr. Jack's?
Dr. Jack's? Yeah.
Timekeeper?
Yes.
Timekeeper.
Band coming through from Minnesota.
Yes.
So we got
There
a
you
lot
go.
of stuff going
we're
on.
playing there again.
And if you're trying to get to if you're trying to get to Minnesota, playing with bands from Minnesota is
Right.
going to be a great way to jump in
Exactly.
on that.
Exactly.
Got a
Also,
network.
if this comes out of time, I'm holding Sovereignty to this. You guys promised me you're going to play Photograph.
Yeah.
I hate that
No,
song.
They promised a different one. We have to
Oh, yeah.
play
We're
Photograph.
serious.
We're
yeah.
doing a cover of
Photograph
Photograph.
was what you guys had.
We're
to
doing
do.
a cover of
Yeah.
Photograph. You're playing How You Remind
Bro,
Me. I'm holding
it's-
you to that, Ryan.
it's
If
gonna
Druce
be-
of Stalin can do it, you guys can. So
Yeah, it's gonna be
That made me
genty.
feel better.
It's gonna be so genty.
Was that the deal? 'Cause I think I missed that.
Jack is not involved in this
Somewhere.
deal.
I'm wearing a suit. It happened.
you had 4 people stoked for it, so I think you got voted in.
Well, I wouldn't use that word, but.
I hate this song.
Well,
I mean,
thank you.
I mean, it's your
Love
opportunity to
Nickelback.
take a bleep awful song and make it your own.
that song came
yeah, I
out.
feel
Challenge
like we
mode.
can make it.
It's like expert
great.
level on Guitar Hero. Just go for it.
Challenge
Go for it.
accepted.
See if you
Sweet
can make it
Child
work.
Mine.
Well, thanks for coming in. We're gonna record some other stuff with you guys today, and we're gonna have a good time. Thanks for coming back in. I really appreciate you guys all being able to come in and sit down. I know scheduling is just absolutely crazy, especially with jumping into the studio, breaking weightlifting records, and producing your own lo-fi hip hop album.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys being able to jump in here.
Well, thank you for making us feel cool.
We'll be able to,
Some
hopefully
of
we'll be
us.
able to get you guys in again soon.
Oh,
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
thanks.
Over and out.